Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Could I start by wishing all women a very happy International Women's Day today? And I'm very proud that the Labour Party has more women MPs than all other parties combined in this House. And a shadow cabinet of which half the members are women. A month ago, Mr. Speaker, I raised the question of the leaked texts between the leader of Surrey Council and government officials about social care. The Prime Minister's response was to accuse me of peddling alternative facts. Could the Prime Minister explain the difference between a sweetheart deal and a gentleman's agreement?
First of all, the Right Honourable Gentleman references women in this House. I think I will point out to him that actually the Conservative Party has taken a further measure in relation to women in this House very recently. We've replaced a Labour male MP with a female Conservative. Now, if he's asked me about the issue in relation to Surrey County Council, and the substance of what he's asking is has there been a particular deal with Surrey County Council that is not available to other councils? And the answer to that is no. As I've said before, the ability to raise a social care precept of 3% is available to every council. The issue of the retention of 100% of business rates is going to be available to a number of councils in April. Now let's just look at them. Liverpool, Manchester, London. What do we know about those? They're all under Labour control. So what he's actually asking me is why should a Conservative council have access to an arrangement that's predominantly currently available to Labour councils?
Mr. Speaker, my question was about the arrangements between the government and Surrey County Council. A recording has now emerged saying that the leader of Surrey County Council, David Hodge, said there was a gentleman's agreement between him and the government which meant they would not have to go ahead with the referendum. My question is, what deal was done with Surrey County Council? Because there is an acute social care crisis that affects every council. 4.6 billion of cuts made to social care since 2010. Can the Prime Minister tell every other council in England what gentleman's agreement is available for them?
Can I say to the Right Honourable Gentleman, on today of all days, I think if he could just be a little patient and wait half an hour for the budget, he'll actually find out what social care funding is available to all councils. But I come back to it. If he's asking me if there was a special deal for Surrey that was not available to other councils, the answer is no. If he's looking to uncover a conspiracy, I suggest he just looks behind him.
Well, Mr. Speaker, if all the arrangements are so clear and above board, will the Prime Minister place in the library of the House a record of all one-to-one meetings that have been held between the Community Secretary and the Chancellor with any council leader or chair of social services anywhere in England? And can she explain, if there's no special deal, why Surrey is the only county council to be allowed into the business rates retention pilot when it's been denied to others?
The business rate retention pilot will be coming into force for a number of councils this April. That includes, as I've already said in answer to his earlier question, Liverpool, Greater Manchester, Greater London and some others. In 2019-20, it's going to be available to 100% of councils. For 2018-19, councils are able to apply to be part of a further pilot. That goes for all councils across the country.
Corbyn!
The text, Mr. Speaker, said there was a memorandum of understanding. The Prime Minister said there was no deal. She now is unclear about this. Did she actually know what arrangement was made with Surrey County Council? She's unkeen on answering questions on that. There is another area of deep concern over the whole country. Could the Prime Minister tell us how many new school places will be needed by 2020?
Can I just say to the right honourable gentleman that really he should listen to the answers I give before he asks the next question. He said I didn't answer the question about a special deal for Surrey. I think I've answered it now 3 times, but I'll do it a 4th time. There was no special deal for Surrey that was not available to other councils.
Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister was also asked a question just a moment ago about the number of new school places needed by 2020. Perhaps she could explain why we have a crisis in school places and class sizes soaring thanks to her government. So what is the answer on the number of new school places needed, Prime Minister?
Well, this government has a policy which is about increasing the number of school places, but doing more than that. I want to increase the number of good school places so that every child has an opportunity to go to a good school. That's what the money we're putting into education is about. It includes money for new free schools. Those will be faith schools, university schools, comprehensives, grammar schools, university schools, I've said, maths schools. There'll be a diversity, because what I want is a good school place for every child and parents to have a choice. What the right honourable gentleman wants is parents to take what they're given, good or bad.
Speaker, the National Audit Office tell us that a very large number of new school places are needed, 420,000. Nothing she said gets anywhere near to that. Instead, she proposes a flagship scheme to build the wrong schools in the wrong place, spending millions on vanity projects of grammar schools and free schools, whilst at the same time per pupil funding is falling in real terms. Isn't it time that this colossal waste of money was addressed? It's doing nothing to help the vast majority of children, nothing to solve the crisis of school places and soaring class sizes. That is what every parent in this country wants, not vanity projects from her government.
It's no vanity project to want every child to have a good school place. The majority of free schools that have been opened in areas where there's a need for school places, and the majority have been opened actually in areas of disadvantage where they're helping the very children we want to see get the opportunity to get on in life. But I have to say to the right honourable gentleman, this is about a fairer society. And on this budget day, what we see is we are securing the economy, Labour want to weaken it. We're working for a fairer society. Labour oppose every single reform. We're fighting for the best deal for Britain. Labour are fighting among themselves. That's Labour, weak, divided and unfit to govern this great country.
Angus Robertson.
On International Women's Day, we wish all campaigners for equality well, including the WASPy campaigners. Mr. Speaker, the cross-party parliamentary Brexit committee has recommended that the UK must guarantee the status of EU nationals living in the UK and act unilaterally if necessary. The committee then went on to say that the current process for consideration of permanent residency applications is not fit for purpose, and in the absence of any concrete resolution to relieve the anxiety felt by the estimated 3 million EU citizens resident in the UK, it is untenable to continue with the system as it stands. Given the massive positive contribution that European nationals make to this country, What concrete plans does the Prime Minister have to deal with this?
As the Right Honourable Gentleman knows, we do want to have an early agreement which will enable us to guarantee the status of EU citizens living in the UK, but also we need to guarantee the status of UK citizens living in the European Union. As regards the process of application that he's referred to, the Home Office is looking at this. They are looking at how they, as they always do, regularly looking at how they can improve the systems and simplify them.
Angus Robertson.
Mr. Speaker, since 2010, the Home Office has seen its full-time staff equivalent cut by 10%. So at current rates of processing applications for permanent residency, it would take the Home Office more than 50 years, 50 years to deal with 3.2 million European nationals in the UK. This is clearly, totally and utterly unacceptable. So will the Prime Minister tell us how quickly she hopes to be able to guarantee all European nationals permanent residency?
I'd say to the Right Honourable Gentleman, he can't just stand up and say, because actually the Home Office is getting more efficient, it's going to be longer for answers to be given to these errors. Yes, the Home Office is getting more efficient at how it's dealing with these things. I don't know if you've ever heard about technology, but these days actually people apply online and they're dealt with online.